Oh, amazing. I thought you said Basie. 756? What was he? Alright, I'm out of here. Aloha to the band. We'll see ya.
Hey, it's me, Shane, Gemini Garage, and as I'm sure you could hear, there's nothing too wrong with this old Cobra 23 channel CB radio. Been having a little bit of fun with this thing. I need to repaint the cover on it here, and the cord is a little bit of a mess, so let me switch the camera on a little bit and I'll show you what we need to do to this old thing. Pretty cool old radio though. Just for reference here, that's what it looks like with the lights off. Nothing fancy. A lot of old school cool going on there. Okay, so what I really need to do is, obviously the thing seems to be working pretty good. It's at least receiving pretty well, and when I key up on this, I get other radios seem to show it's keying up. So what I'd really like to do is maybe just clean this thing up a little bit. As you can see here, the top is a little crusty and rusty on it. The faceplate and all this isn't too bad. It's got a little wear and some patina, but that's okay. That's cool. But the rest of it, the bottom looks really good. The sides, just kind of the top here. So I thought maybe I'd just pop this top cover off and give it a quick sand down there and maybe put a little bit of paint on there. And then this power cord here. And you can see it's not very big coming out of here, which it doesn't need to be. But there's no plug or anything. It's just the wires coming out of the CB. And you can see right here, it's been spliced, and then again each time right here. And so this wiring here is a little bit of a, I just kind of got this stuffed into my power cord here. So we're gonna clean this lid up a little bit and see if we can find something appropriate to put on here for a new power cord and be good to go. So stick with me. I'm just gonna go ahead and zip this lid off real quick and see what we got. Okay. Well, nothing too weird going on in there. Lots of little flat disc capacitors on there. You're like, what's he doing? I'm sniffing it. Don't you sniff your radio? Yeah, you do. You sniff your radio. You want to see if it smells like electronics? Does it smell like mildew? What does it smell like? This one has a light, kind of musty smell, but it's not overpowering. I've had some radios where it's like you take them out of the box and it's like, oh shit, not one of those radios. But this one's pretty good. This one's not too stinky. So we'll see if we can clean this thing up here a little bit. And since we got this off, we may as well just flip it over and take the bottom cover off, because we got to get in there to get to the power wire. So okay. Okay, and these things are pretty much hardwired onto the speaker. I think this one here looks like it comes off, but this one doesn't, so we'll just set the speaker like that. And then our power wire looks like they solder straight through to the other side of the board here. Yep. So they just come through and go straight through the board and solder on there. So that should be simple enough to do if I can find some appropriate wire there. So let me see if I can see down in there. Right in that corner right there they go. Pretty much just down and through the board. Little look inside of there. "23 channels. Not a whole lot going on in there as far as anything else other than just AM. The cover, I've just got some, because it's winter time and it's kind of crappy out, I've just got some Rust-Oleum black satin rattle can that I'm just going to sand this off and rattle can that with, and then I'll scare up some wires so I can take care of that, and I'll be back. So I got the lid pretty much cleaned up. I just took one of those green little green Scotch-Brite pads and just cleaned it really good, and then took and hit it with some 400 grit sandpaper just a little bit to kind of get the just to get it to feel smooth, and that'll be good enough. So I'm going to hit it with that black spray paint and let it dry for, you know, overnight, and should be good to go there. So next I'm going to focus on getting some wires together to replace these. So that should be entertaining. And since I got this thing a little bit apart, I'm going to go ahead and take some of this, it's never dull, it's like metal polish. It's kind of like this cotton-like stuff that's basically got chrome cleaner or whatever in it. You can buy it in this tin at the auto parts store. But I'm going to take some of that and kind of go over this microphone holder here. It looks like it could use a little bit of cleanup here, and maybe hit the head of these screws here a little bit. The rest of this thing, I've kind of wiped it up just here and there a little bit sparingly with some isopropyl alcohol. And I mean, it looks really clean inside. The sides look, you know, really good. So yeah, pretty clean inside overall. So anyways, just wanted to throw that in there. So some progress with the wiring here. The real trick to this was this little strain relief thing that goes in there. I kind of just had to take a screwdriver and push down on the top a little bit while pulling on the old wires to get it to pop out. And then once I got it popped out, I don't know if you can see, but the old wires here, you can see they have quite a little dent in them. They go up and then down. That's because they are really sandwiched in this little strain relief plug here. So you actually put these wires in this little strain relief thing, and then you have to squeeze that thing down with some pliers. So you're not going to be using any wire really any bigger than what came on this thing, unless you use some kind of a different, like a grommet type strain relief thing coming out of it. So I was lucky I chose, this is 14 gauge wire, by the way. I was lucky I had some of this laying around, and it seems to fit in there just about right. I got this thing popped back in there with some pliers. It kind of moves around on there a little bit, but you got to take some levering to get it in and out of there. So you want to make sure the radio is really stable. You want to make sure, you know, be careful what direction you're pointing your screwdrivers and doing all that. Just be really, really careful. As a matter of fact, I almost just desoldered and took the speaker off of here, just, you know, because it's kind of in the way, and it's not the kind that disconnects from the board, or that you can pull the things off the speaker. So if I have too much trouble reaching some of these solder points or whatever to get to these other couple wires, I might do that. But for now, I've got a short length of the wire run through here to replace these two pieces that are soldered through the board here. And then after I get that done, I'm going to tend to this right here and figure out what I'm going to do for a fuse. So that's where we stand on the wiring situation there. Okay, so back to the scene of the crime here. As you can see, we got our old power wires off of there, and we got our new ones run through here. Got through the strain relief. That, like I said, was its own project, popping that old one out without breaking it and getting it around those wires and pop back in there. So now we got our two old wires here that are going to the board. Like I said, there's a big blob there that's the ground, and then another one there that's the live wire. So what I'm going to do is split these two wires here, so as I heat them up on the other side I can pull them out individually. Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to remove Mr. Cat here because I got my soldering iron going. And I don't want him burning himself, so alright. Okay. So, like I said, having the speaker attached makes it a pain in the butt to work with. So we're going to go with the black one. Where's our old wires here? I'm going to pull out our black one first. Alright, we got it out. Now we're going to do the positive. Okay, got that one out there. And now I'm going to set this down. And I'm going to try and figure out, let's see about how much wire I need here. Grab my wire cutters. All right. Don't need to nip a bunch off of these, just a little bit there. I could probably tin these, but I think there's enough solder on the other side with those blobs that were on there. I should be good by the time I get it heated up and get it through there. So I've got this black one that goes in the top hole here. So I'm just kind of going to fold it over. Okay. So what I really need to do is just get this old solder off of here and then put it through the hole and re-solder it. What I really want is just to kind of remake that hole. There we go. And that's why you gotta pay attention to where you set your freaking soldering iron. Okay, so we got a little bit of a hole there. We need to do the same thing on the other one. We're just going to have the same frickin' problem. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but we got those two holes opened up there now. We can actually put a piece of wire through there. The best way, or the simpler, fastest way would have been to have some solder wick and just to wick that off of there, or to have a solder sucking thing, which I do, but sometimes you just get lazy. And here it comes through the hole. And there's probably enough solder on there still to and I can put a little bit of mine on there for good measure. And we're on to the next one. Okay. And let's do the positive side here. A little doing to feed it down in there, but it's doable. I say that as it takes me 10 tries. Oh, this one's coming through too. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we're good to go there. Yep, should be good to go. So there we go. We got our two new wires power wires run through here. And soldered on there. So let's see next. Oh, the speaker and this lid, pain in the freaking butt. Okay, next we basically need to so next, pretty much done doing this. So next I'm going to test it real quick to make sure that it's getting power like it's supposed to, and then we'll go on to the business of figuring out what we're going to do with this little fuse situation here, because we should probably put a fuse in here. And these wires here was like a zip wire where they're kind of joined, and these are two separate wires, so I've got some shrink tubing I might put on here to kind of keep these tied up a little bit. Okay, so I think what I can do is, I mean, you can buy these inline fuse holders, the newer style for the blade fuses, and these older ones like this, but I really kind of want to get this project finished up, and I don't feel like messing around with it, and I have to order one of these, and not like ordering some of these wouldn't be a bad idea, but I think I can probably you know, do a little spliceroo here and put this in there. So we're going to try that. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to cut out about that much of it there and about that much of it there, and we're going to pray. Okay, so our spring. Oh, this thing has so many splices on it I can't even get the this old spring in the wire out of there, so we're going to have to cut it down a little bit further here. Okay, now we can get out our spring and our wire. So what I really need to do is, that's what I need to do, is put this thing over the wire first so I don't forget to do that right. And then I need to put the spring on here. And then I need to solder this little, don't know what else to call it, folks, except a little teat. Looks like a little, I guess it would be a contact, but it just kind of looks like it would be some kind of a little teat, little nipple, little, it's late. Anyway, so I'm going to, what am I going to do here? I think I'm going to just cut this wire a little bit right here and strip this off of there, and there should be enough wire, there should be enough whatever on there that I can solder the end of that to that. So let's see here. Probably going to just speed it up, but nevertheless, that's the plan. Just need to plug the iron in. Solder over here. Again, this is the Pine Sill 64 soldering iron. It's been a great little soldering iron. I've got a review on one of these. Same thing with this end here. We're going to cut it right here, and we're just going to save our lid here for the rest of the wire here in a minute. Okay, so what did I say I was going to do? I was going to take and cut this a little bit here. Because I have no idea how they originally did this here. But that's just almost like a piece of sharp wire. It's almost like a little thumbtack now at this point. So if I put this in the center like that, if I can get it to stay in there while I lay some solder on there. So let's see. Okay. This is where gravity can be your friend or your enemy. I didn't turn the damn thing on. Alright, I guess the least I could do is put a tiny little piece of paper towel down under here in case they drip, right? Welcome to the ghetto garage. Yeah, alright. Well, upon first glance, it seems to have taken that pretty good. You know, like your old lady before you met her. Just kidding. Let's flip it over. And we'll give that another round. Nobody wants to tune into being salted, right? You're like, yeah, that's cool. Insult us. Alright. Alright, well. Okay. I'm going to wait for this to cool off a little because my luck, this will be on here all great and wonderful, and then I'll pull this damn plastic thing up over here and this will be too hot and it'll melt this all up and just do a number on that. So let's not go there. Let's concentrate on this one. So we're basically going to have to do the same thing on this end because this has the same little contact electrical teat. Whatever, man. Alright, same drill. I guess the cat wants to get involved too. Okay, so on this one here, same thing. We want to make sure we put our wire in here. Take me a second here. Okay, so we're going to strip a little bit off of here. You really probably do not need to be involved in this since I got my soldering iron sitting here. You absolutely really do not. Okay, you need to leave again. Excuse me. Stay in here. Oh, I usually let him roam around. I really don't give a shit. He's not happy with me now. But I don't want him burning his ass on this soldering iron. That's not what I need. Okay, so we're going to do the other end here real quick. We remembered to put our piece of plastic over here. It's just the plastic and then our little electrical connector slash contact electrical teat. And we're going to put our... It would be a lot funnier if I had an accent. Okay. Okay, again, this is kind of the similar thing we got going on here. So I'm just gonna set this right here over this flammable paper towel while I take this extraordinarily hot heating tool here and melt some metal over it. Do the other side a little bit here. Damn paper towel's getting in the way. Again, my countertop is not UL rated for electrical soldering, so you'll have to forgive the crudity here. Or crudeness. Okay, let's see what we got. It's hot. Duh. Okay, so I think we're good to go there. Again, I want to let that cool for a minute so I don't fark it all up by melting up my plastic there. Unplug my soldering iron. Again, I can't tell you how much I love these things because even though they're hot and they're still a dangerous tool, it's just, you're so much less easier to knock this over or drop this or hit yourself with it because it's just a lot smaller. It's just really easy to unplug and set aside. So that's my spiel on that. Okay, so I think we're ready to stick this fuse in here. This fuse looks like it's been this fuse looks like it's been in there for a while. The ends are like all concave. It's been in there so long. So I had some of my metal cleaner stuff out here, but all right, let me check the camera to even see if it's still rolling. Can't believe it's still going. Okay, just checking the camera and everything. I think we're good to go. I think we're good. We remembered to put this on here. We remembered to put our spring in here. We got that soldered onto there like that. We got some nice springy action there. And got our fuse here. And that one's going into there like it's supposed to. So, good to go. I think we just successfully kind of got a new cord on there. Like I said, this here is instead of two pieces being right next to each other, is separate pieces. These aren't zip wire tangled together. But I can take a couple of zip ties and put it over that, and then this part right here I might take and put a little shrink tubing just right here, and maybe a little tape or something, and just put it right here. So, good enough. I probably could have remembered to put some shrink tubing over here, but that shrink tubing stuff, sometimes on curves it's kind of stiff, and I sometimes don't like the way that stuff sort of acts. So sometimes just a zip tie and maybe a piece of tape or something is usually enough. It's got real good strain relief right here, so it's not going to be pulling on these wires or anything. So, but anyways, if you need to know how to salvage an old glass fuse holder from something like this, there you go. Totally doable. So, alright, with that I'm going to clean up my mess a little here, get one more shot of this thing with the covers off here, and put it back together and crank it up again and wrap up the video. So, I'll be back. Oh, I guess I need to see if it works, right? You're like, does it work? Of course it works. Check it to make sure if it works. Yep. You can't hear anything because the mic's not plugged in and the antenna isn't on, but the lights are on, so good to go. So, yeah, pretty good. That looks like factory. Pretty happy with that. Good stuff. I'm just going to kind of do one more shot of the inside of this thing. I don't know why, I feel like it's kind of important to sort of document what these things look like on the inside a little bit. Just because you never need to know. You never know when someone might need for reference of where something is. It's not as detailed as a schematic, but again, just for reference purposes. What's the dead key? What's it hitting you out on your meter over there? 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2.
About 4.
Is there any swing or just kind of laying there?
I have a little bit of wiggle.
10, 4, 1, 2.
Goes outward too, is good.
Alright, well I'll take that given what this thing is and how old it is. It's probably about as old as I am, so that's okay. I mean, it's working. You're hearing me one way or another, so can't complain, right?
There you go.
Alright, I'm going to switch back to the other one. Well, it transmits. That's, he's about 10 miles away from me as the crow flies, and this is going through my base antenna, so, you know, can't really complain about plugging in an old radio like that, and it's working. It's not a real huge signal, but, you know, he's, like I said, he's about 10 miles away. I was hitting him at about a 4, and this is a bone stock 23 channel Cobra 21, so that's probably not too bad. I'll take that. So I'm going to wait for the top cover to dry, and then we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to throw the top cover back on it here. It's dry. Not my best paint job. It's still kind of crappy looking, but I got a little bit of color on there, at least to keep it from rusting. I'd spend a little more time sanding this and repainting it, but I got a lot of other projects I got to do, and I need to kind of get this done. So it's just the top cover. If I want to repaint it down the road, no big deal. Okay, so there you go. Cool old radio, still ready for some talking action. So I'm going to see if I can get an audio clip of this real quick. I want to drag it out into the garage and use this mic and one of my other microphones on it and just see if I can hear it over this radio and see just kind of what the audio sounds like on it. So be right back. Okay, we're going to see what the Cobra 21 sounds like, 23 channel.
Extreme. This is a little bit more of a power mic, got a little bit of echo on there. Mic gains at 3/4 of the way. 1, 2, Cobra 21, 23 channel, 2018 Extreme mic. Check, check. And that's with the 2018 and the gain all the way up. Mic gain all the way up on the 21, Cobra 21, 23 channel. Check, check, audio, 1, 2. Alright.
Exactly when he's going to be able to get it sent. Yeah, and he's going to build that second one for me too, because that's going to be the one, because I'm going to have my Galaxy Side Turbo refurbished during that time when I get the one.
Eat the code, eat the code. Checking in.
Alright, well there you go. I'm impressed. And why am I impressed? It's a 50-year-old 23 channel radio. Paid about $40 for it delivered. And I was talking to my friend about 10 miles away. He could hear me on it. It's receiving okay, obviously. So you know, you really can't say anything bad about these old radios. I know they're old and they're 23 channels and they're just stock 4 watts, but they're fun to play around with. They still work. I mean, this one was used and, you know, had some wear and tear on it. The cool thing with these radios is you can still find them brand new in the box. And You can find a lot of old CB radios in the box because people got them for gifts or whatever, and they only used them a couple times and they put them back in the box, or they never used them at all. But it was even more so with the 23 channels. Because these things, this radio here dates to about 1975. And right around 75, 76, 77 is when they came out with the 40 channel ones. So there was a ton of 23 channels that people just never used, and they just got set aside, and people just went ahead and bought the 40 channel ones. So you've got even more 23 channel mobiles and base stations that are new in the boxes, which is really cool because you can get really good deals on them. You can get updated, you know, VFOs and channel kits to put in them, so you can get your 40 channels and then some. And it's just, it's kind of a platform that I see maybe someday kind of taking off a little bit, just because you can really do a lot of customizing with them, and like I said, there's so many of them that are in really nice shape, just, you know, new, fresh out of the box. So kind of can't beat that. So I hope this inspires you to get out your old radio, 23 or 40 channel, and if not, maybe take a look on eBay or at the yard sales and see if you can find something nice, because they still work, a lot of them, and they're worth putting a little bit of money. I mean, if you get one that's brand new out of the box and it's just like this mint 23 channel, you know, if you have to have it recapped or put a little money into it, that's okay, because you're still going to have a really cool radio when you're done. And like I said, it's just kind of an overlooked platform, I think. You know, like I said, when the 40 channels came in, everybody kind of forgot about the 23. So lots of them laying around out there, so something to think about. Until the next video, Shane, Gemini Garage.